The ocean has always been a realm of wonder, power, and mystery. Ships have sailed across its expanse for centuries, yet some have disappeared entirely, leaving nothing but questions and speculation in their wake. Among these disappearances, one stands out, not for enemy fire, not for battle, but for the sheer scale and inexplicable nature of the loss. The USS Cyclops, a colossal coal-carrying vessel of the U.S. Navy, vanished in March 1918 somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, taking with her 309 men and a cargo vital to the war effort. Her disappearance remains the largest non-combat loss in U.S. Navy history, and over a century later, the fate of the Cyclops continues to puzzle historians, naval experts, and maritime enthusiasts. The story of this ship is more than a mystery. It is a reflection of the dangers of sea travel, the challenges of wartime logistics, and the human stories lost to the depths. The USS Cyclops was part of the Proteus-class colliers, a fleet of massive cargo vessels designed specifically to transport coal and other essential materials for naval operations. Launched in 1910 from the Maryland Steel Company, she measured 542 feet in length, 65 feet in beam, and displaced over 19,000 tons. Her steel hull was reinforced to endure rough seas, and she was powered by a triple expansion steam engine capable of pushing her through 14 knots in calm waters. Colliers like the Cyclops were critical during the era of steam-powered warships. Coal fueled the engines of battleships, cruisers, and destroyers, making regular resupply essential. Without colliers, the fleet could be stranded, vulnerable, and ineffective. The USS Cyclops represented the logistical backbone of the Navy during World War I, a silent workhorse whose contributions, though rarely celebrated, were vital to maintaining naval operations. Her construction reflected early 20th century naval engineering standards. Unlike warships, she had no armor plating or weapons beyond a few defensive guns. She was designed to carry bulk cargo safely across long distances, and her design emphasized storage capacity and structural strength over speed or maneuverability. By 1918, the United States had fully entered World War I, and the Navy faced unprecedented logistical challenges. Ensuring a steady supply of coal, manganese, and other essential materials to U.S. forces and allies was a matter of national security. The Navy was rapidly expanding, employing both new ships and converted commercial vessels to meet wartime demands. Manganese ore, the cargo aboard the Cyclops during her final voyage, was particularly critical. It strengthened steel for battleships, tanks, and artillery, directly supporting the war effort. Coal resupply ships were constantly at risk from storms, mechanical failures, and enemy action. Yet the Cyclops' voyages were considered routine, a regular route from the United States to South America. On February 16, 1918, the USS Cyclops departed Norfolk, Virginia, loaded with approximately 10,800 tons of manganese ore bound for Bahia, Brazil. Her crew consisted of 309 men, including 10 officers under the command of Lieutenant Commander George W. Worley, a seasoned naval officer with decades of experience. The voyage initially proceeded as planned. The Cyclops followed established shipping lanes along the eastern seaboard, past Cape Hatteras, and entered the Caribbean. Weather reports indicated increasingly rough conditions, with strong winds and waves up to 25 feet. While the ship was designed for heavy loads and rough seas, the combination of a massive cargo and turbulent waters created a potential risk that was largely unforeseen. During the first week of March, sightings of the Cyclops became increasingly rare. The last confirmed communication came on March 4, 1918, when the ship reported her position near Barbados. After this, all contact ceased. No distress signals, no radio messages, nothing. Only silence. When the USS Cyclops failed to reach Bahia, the Navy launched a massive search operation. Ships scoured the Atlantic while reconnaissance planes surveyed the area. Reports from other vessels were collected, and authorities combed through shipping lanes, hoping to find debris or lifeboats. Despite these efforts, no evidence of the Cyclops or her crew was ever found. The lack of wreckage puzzled naval experts, A ship of her size carrying over 300 people simply could not vanish without a trace. Yet the Atlantic had swallowed her whole. The Navy conducted an exhaustive investigation, examining weather records, cargo manifests, ship logs, and crew details. Multiple possibilities were considered: overloading and structural failure. The Cyclops' dense cargo of manganese ore may have shifted in rough seas, destabilizing the ship. Some naval engineers argued that overloading could have stressed the hull and caused catastrophic failure, though sister ships had survived similar conditions. Severe weather. The winter storm in early March 1918 produced enormous waves and hurricane-force winds in parts of the Caribbean. The combination of cargo weight, heavy seas, and storm conditions may have overwhelmed the vessel. Enemy action. German U-boats were actively targeting Allied shipping. While it is theoretically possible that a submarine sank the Cyclops, no German records report such an attack, and no evidence of torpedo damage has ever been found. Mechanical failure. As a steam-powered collier, the ship relied on boiler function and structural integrity. Mechanical issues could have left the ship disabled in rough seas, though, again, this fails to fully explain the total lack of debris. Human error. Some investigators speculated navigation errors or misjudgments could have played a role. However, the experienced crew and the routine nature of the voyage make this less likely. Paranormal speculations. Later writers suggested the Bermuda Triangle might have contributed, citing magnetic anomalies or mysterious disappearances. While sensational, these ideas lack scientific backing and are considered more folklore than fact. The human dimension of the USS Cyclops tragedy is often overlooked. Among the 309 men were skilled engineers, deckhands, officers, and sailors with years of experience at sea. Families back home awaited news, sending letters and pleas to naval authorities, only to be met with silence. Lieutenant Commander Worley, a decorated officer, had guided ships through storms and wartime convoys with competence. Crew members included men who had sailed similar routes countless times. Their collective experience highlights the mystery. How could a vessel under such capable leadership vanish entirely? Some individual stories survived in correspondence and personnel records. Sailors who had served previous voyages aboard the Cyclops wrote of the monotony of coal transport missions, the harsh conditions, and the camaraderie that formed among crew members. These personal accounts humanize the tragedy, reminding us that the loss was not just a ship, but hundreds of lives, hopes, and families. The loss of the USS Cyclops prompted changes in naval procedures. Overloading protocols were revised, cargo securing methods improved, and distress communication protocols were strengthened. The incident underscored the vulnerability of logistical vessels in wartime, demonstrating that non-combat losses could be as devastating as battles. The Cyclops also entered popular culture and naval lore. Books, documentaries, and articles recount her story, sometimes linking her to other mysterious disappearances in the Atlantic. Her case is frequently cited in studies of maritime mystery, the Bermuda Triangle, and unexplained vanishing vessels. Modern technology, including deep-sea sonar, underwater drones, and satellite mapping, continues to offer hope that her wreckage might one day be found. Yet the Atlantic remains vast, and the Cyclops' fate may remain forever hidden beneath the waves. The story of the USS Cyclops is a testament to both the power of the ocean and the fragility of human endeavor. Despite her immense size, robust design, and experienced crew, she disappeared without a trace. No distress call, no debris, no survivors, only unanswered questions and enduring mystery. Her disappearance reminds us that the sea is both a provider and a taker, capable of hiding truths beneath its waves for decades. The men of the Cyclops may be lost, but their story endures in history, a haunting legacy of duty, courage, and the relentless power of nature. As long as the oceans hold their secrets, the USS Cyclops will remain a ghost ship, a symbol of the mysteries that lie beneath the surface, and a story of the human lives intertwined with the vast, unknowable sea.